For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Telling you guys a bit of a review video on a product from Dometic. So this here is a Dometic Grande All-Season 390 Air. So you may be confused, it may look like a camper, but essentially it still is a camper. So what kind of happened is for the 2021 season, the Kampa and Dometic, which were dual branded for 2020, have just been shifted over to Dometic. So you've got all the kind of camper features just under a different brand name. So it's just Dometic, and that's how it's going to be going forward. It's kind of their premium range, which you see in pretty much their whole collection. So the joys of this anyways is something we've seen for a few years now, and it's been very much kind of at the top end of kind of Dometic's / Kampa's range, and it kind of goes on forward. So it's now, this version is only available in the 390, the 330 size is no longer. So because most people, to be honest, if they want an all-season product, they want to go for 390 width. You've got smaller models in, say, like the Club, which is not as deep as this particular model, which you still get in 330, same as the Rally. So Kampa are more pushing people more to that way rather than the bigger all-season models. Joys this, obviously, it's a single point inflation point, so one point will inflate the whole awning, and you've got your kind of your main body here, but then what you also have is the ability to put extensions on. You can put it on either the right hand side or left hand side, and then the extension says so much, so it's left-handed, right-handed. Also new for 2021, you can buy these sun canopies that can sort of go in place as well as kind of the extension. So for example, if you want an extension on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side, you can always have this little sun canopy. So again, you've got the versatility, you can have an airflow coming in or a bit of open sheltered area compared to a completely enclosed sheltered area. And that's one of the unique features I find about kind of the Grande in the all-season, is that not only you've got a deeper depth, so it's a 3 meters deep rather than say a standard 2.5 and 390 wide, is the fact that you never short of space. And by the extensions, well, I personally see it as almost like the perfect kind of wet dry area. You come in here, take off your shoes, take off your coats, you know, it doesn't matter if it's rain, you put the bikes in here, enter your lovely clean carpeted area, as you can see. So again, that works really, really well. These parts can be essentially modular, so you build the main thing and then this is an addition. This actually freestands as well, so you haven't got to have the biggest Caravan. As long as you've got 3.9 on the straight part of your rail, you can get away with having this quite happily, and suddenly that means that, you know, this whole awning can be in theory bigger than a Caravan, so it can be bigger than a full awning. But you've got the quick and ease of the air, plus the versatility. If you're going away for a short time, you just put the main body up. So that's one of the main things, that this modular design works really, really well. Beautiful big clear PVC windows to get plenty of light into the actual awning as well, but then you've also got privacy curtains, which will come into in just a minute on the inside. You've got these nice strong webbing straps on the front, and then additional webbing straps you can buy to give a bit more bracing kind of across the roof section. But as you can see here, you've got this really nice dual pitch roof, helps with interior height, but also drainage, so the water seeps off properly and drains away as it should. The all-season material, as it says on the tin, is designed to be sort of left up for extended periods of time, but you can, there's no reason why you couldn't use this for a touring use. You're going away for a week or a weekend, you can use it. Admittedly, it's going to be a little bit bulkier and heavier, but the principle being behind it is that it's, you know, a bit more versatile. One of the things I think that makes a real big difference for the 2021 season as well, especially with the Grande, is the fact the front panel now can zip off. So that was probably one of the more criticisms, that to reduce the weight down to make it a little bit more manageable, the front panels were solid. Now the fact you can remove the front panels, the side panels, it means that minimum weight is a lot less, making it easier to slide through the rail. But not only that, if you buy sort of a separate bag, you can store the side panels, the front panels, the pump, the pegs, all in a separate bag, the curtains in a separate bag. So rather than having one big bulky bag, you can reduce that down to two much more manageable sizes. It means it's easier to store in a Caravan or in the motorhome for that matter, and you can pick and choose. That's the other thing I'll come on to now as well, is it's kind of one size fits all. So this model will actually now fit a Caravan and a motorhome. Same model, so you haven't got different sizes or SKUs. What you find is that it's got a really, really clever height system where there's a zip along the side just to extend the back panel up so it'll fit taller vehicles. Now, it then means you've got one model that will fit a Caravan or a motorhome. And it's what you find is it's going to be like an S or an M, similar to the motorhome style, mass majority of people are going to have the S size. So the S size will fit a Caravan or motorhome where its attachment height is either 235 to 265. That's a massive gap. You know, talking a foot of difference between the heights, which is brilliant. And then they do an M size, which then does 265 to 295, and that's going to cover pretty mass market the range. You know, especially with something like this, there's not really much vehicles going to be above that. Certainly not in the UK, possibly not even in Europe. To be fair, it's unless you've got these massive US Winnebago things that it's not going to really fit. If you're looking to fit on a motor, I'd always recommend you sort of send us a photo of your van, and we want to make sure the measurements are going to work out, because there always are quite a few pitfalls making sure it's going to fit properly, and it's a lot of money to invest in something that's not going to fit and work as we need it to. Like I said, nice design. You've also got additional clip on the front. So what you've got is an additional air brake, which we've seen in the past, can actually clip onto that, wrap around it, so you create this kind of enclosure around the front. So you've almost got your inside sheltered area, and then kind of outside area away from the wind. Put a couple of chairs out here, and you just, you know, it's that little bit of protection against the wind. Quick and easy to pitch, and we've done its own video with it as well, but kind of gives you a bit more idea about the actual size of it as well. But let's talk a few more features about the Grande All-Season on the inside. So let's see what it has to offer. So now we're inside the Grande, you kind of appreciate a bit more for that sheer amount of depth you have in here. So like I said, that 3 meters deep really helps to sort of get yourself further away from the Caravan. So when you come out of your Caravan step, you're not suddenly on top of your furniture, and that makes a huge difference. I mean, you can physically see how much space you've got there. And that really helps to create, like I said, your home away from home. Now, we've got a 1-point inflation like we talked about on the outside. So the air comes in from this location here, goes directly up, and then there's an additional kind of, it disperses itself through these kind of taps in the roof section. So if I fold that back, you've got little points here, like I said, and that allows the air to distribute sound into each individual beam. You've got an isolation tap on every one as well, so it means that you can isolate each beam away from one another. So even though it's a single point inflation, you've got the versatility of multi-point, that everything is then segregated into its own particular point. You just literally kind of you zip back the part you need, get to the outer sleeve, then to the inner bladder, replace or repair that bit, put it back in, and you're ready to go. And even like the fitments, for example, are quite easy to use. They're like a sort of a kind of well, almost like a kind of like a garden hose kind of type, but it's just little sort of screw caps that works quite smartly. But it's something Kampa have, you know, and they're in what, 4th generation of that system now, so it's been very much tried and tested, and that's kind of one of the joys of it. You've got nice big PVC panel windows, so you get plenty of light and visibility, and then you've also got the ability of having additional zip mesh panels put in behind that. So if you want to drop the front panels down like a veranda, you can do that and still have the air flow. So if I say remove said panel, it would actually allow me to get to the main PVC panel itself. Just check out the way for the time being. What you can also see is new for 2021 is this veranda kind of sign. So there's little inserts here, so you can just drop that pole directly over that point, have the airflow coming in and out. If you don't want the veranda pole there, it's one veranda pole fits all, just literally extend it down and away you go. The curtains itself, as you can see, are more sort of traditional Caravan style curtains, so you've got that sort of very homely feel. Put them across, put them where you wanted to, and there's even a little cord, well, bit of webbing, just to keep that nice and tight to the window, just to stop it, you know, protruding apart, and you get that bit more level of privacy. And then when you're done, you just pull it around, pull it to the side, and then you've got a little button clip, nice and easy to attach. One thing I'd say with the veranda pole, you can always use it just to flop it over with if you wanted to. Alternatively, personally, I see it, what you can also do is almost open that panel up completely and kind of roll the material in it. So you can go about 2 ways. You can either go sort of under or over, extend the pole out fully. If you want to be a bit of a, depends on how you want to go it, but you can roll that around like so. Be better from the other side, but you kind of get the idea of it. That can then slot in there, and then you've got a really nice neat rib. You haven't got to worry about, you know, the material flopping over. It's nicely secured. So again, that just gives you a bit more versatility on that side of things. You've got these kind of oversized beams, and again, this more durable kind of fabric. And again, that's one of the things, there's a breathability side of things, it feels a bit cooler and calmer inside of here. additional roof line is going to really help with that and help sort of fight and alleviate condensation. Not completely eradicate it, but it will just give you that almost like double glazing kind of effect. Hides the beams and taps and everything like that. It just makes it feel very homely. And again, a new thing as well is the fact that one roof line fits any Grande sort of 390 regardless of the size. So it doesn't matter if you go for the taller version or you alter the height of it, it all fits perfectly, which again means much easier to buy one thing you know is going to work. Now, the side panels, as we said, are completely removable, as are the front panels for 2021. Now, what you find is that the panels can be interchangeable as well. So this panel can fit where that is and that one this. What that does, it changes the position of the door. So rather than the door being directly at the back where it tends to always be, flipping that one in for this one, suddenly the door is then on the side here. So you can walk in and straight out quite smoothly rather than going out the back and then in there. And that kind of creates almost like this dead space. You can put a cooking unit, bikes, anything you want to store in that location. What also probably a good idea to do now is probably show you the unique adjustment system. Actually, there is in this door, I should actually mention, there is also a mesh panel built in here as well. So you've got a mesh door as well as a normal door. Now you always have the opposite panels basically exactly the same. So you've got door, normal door, mesh door, and then one of the one over there, this window here also has mesh in it. So in theory you can have mesh window, mesh door, and then if you want to, mesh front panel. So you can really get a perfect sort of, you know, barrier away from the bugs and the critters really. If I sort of zip this panel sort of fully back and just open it up. So we'll take this panel back. You can again, means you can open this up fully. So you can open it up fully and have it as one big kind of area. Obviously unpeg that, remove that anywhere you go. Now, very subtly, the height adjustment system is located here in a zip just above kind of the curtain rail. Now what you've got is an internal zip and an external zip. And this is basically how you can adjust the height. So I take that external zip all the way open, and then the internal zip kind of all the way open. You see what happens now, this material then kind of drops down. Again, you've got a Velcro part here, so you can unvelcro this. 2 stage Velcro points, and then suddenly this whole thing in here kind of drops down like so. So then you've got the ability to adjust the height of it. It's 15 centimeters of adjustment, so you either, if you're sort of sitting at 250, really be better off having that sort of fully open. That way the panels will fit in really nice to the bottom, where in comparison, if you go to sort of the full length of it, you know, really, you know, sort of 265, you're then sort of on the base of the ladders. So you've got a really nice height adjustment system, but it means also if you've got uneven ground with caravans, you can sort of, again, just drop that down a little bit, it sits a bit nicer to the ground, and you've got that adjustment play, which has definitely been one of the criticisms of air sort of awnings in the past, is that it's not really much play in it. But that's a really nice and very, very clever system. It suddenly means that, you know, you've got one model that fits what 3 used to in kind of Kampa's range. The additional poles that you can get to seal it against the sort of the Caravan or Motorhome would still be kind of an optional extra. And again, depending on the height, you sort of pick and choose what you essentially need. And again, do the external zip. But it just gives you flexibility. Now, the rear poles are going to help kind of push the foam pad hard against kind of the Caravan to sort of help minimise the draft. You've also got additional limpets you can help do to seal that. Personally, I feel they work better in conjunction with one another, especially if you're going around a window. You can always pre-punch your own limpets above and around the window as long as you've got a completely flat surface. We've got a separate kind of accessory video talking about all the accessories you can get for the actual model now, as well as things like you also now have to buy your draft skirt and your wheel arch covers, which you did anyway, depending on single and twin axles you see. But those are all sort of optional extras you can look at. The extension, again, an optional extra, really helps to create, like I said, that sort of wet area that from inside. Perfect area for storage, we've talked about, but generally it's your muddy, mucky area before you go into your lovely clean carpeted area. You then got the furniture in there, you can wine and dine, whatever you need to do in there, and then all of the crap in many ways can stay out here out the way. You've got a really big Paneling as well, 3 meters deep, so it looks as part of the awning as we saw from the outside. Again, you've got a full mesh panel there, so you can roll the external PVC material up and have the ultimate amount of airflow. You've still your sort of Caravan style privacy curtains to get that privacy when you want it to, and also great interior height. Little Velcro tabs for saber lights that you can put in here, and the same goes for the front here as well. So again, you've got little Velcro tabs to put LED lights in there, which is the Sabre 150, and you can get 1, 2, even 3 lights running off a single socket, and they all interconnect into one with remote control to alter the brightness. You've got a hanging point as well in here, so you can put a bedroom in here as well. So you can always have it a bedroom by night and a storage by day, again making it really nice and flexible. Alternatively, this panel which we've removed already, you can actually then put an additional annex on, again making it more sleeping purposes rather than kind of more of a living quarters. The back panel, because it's freestanding, again, you've got this panel that zips back, so you can even access any cabinets, you can quite happily do so. And you've also got a PVC window in here, which you can put up and put down. Again, it reflects wherever the window's on the other side. And again, this, because it can kind of go past a window, doesn't really make a big difference if you cover a window, like I said, it goes out the back of the Caravan, because it's pretty much self-sufficient. But let's pick up the Caravan now, have a little bit of a walk through and kind of get a bit more of a feel for kind of the Grande itself. So first thing I probably should mention is obviously with the new ventilation point, it means that the point at the top is a lot less. So you haven't got that whole sort of wing. You've still got that ventilation point to allow air to flow through, but it doesn't mean you got, you know, that worry. Again, you can see that kind of zip located there as well, a bit more prominent, and that's what we can obviously adjust to make it work as we need to. I've just dropped the panel down there just so the camera goes through, but you can see that sort of extra depth. We come away from here, for example, you see the Caravan, really very generous depth, and you've got that extra baffle around the outside to kind of get that additional kind of sun canopy or extension. So we've got the door in place, opens up really nicely, and then you've got the extension out on this right hand side for the time being, comes around, and as you can see, you've got a little bit of gap nice and neatly there, which kind of pegs out, as we can see. As we sort of go inside, great interior height for inside of it. And like I said, wet dry area, you've got that sort of window panel up top, and again, that whole panel can go back to the left hand side if you want to access any storage points with the windows. You've still got a little ventilation point even on the inside, which again is one of those things that you lost previously with that model, and it means the vent is always open. And as we saw where the camera was, it works really nicely. You've got that sort of 360-degree view around the campsite, so you can always check out where everyone is, but then you've got the curtains to get the level of privacy you wanted to. And again, with the roof lining, that really is going to help with kind of, you know, the condensation and so forth. But that gives you a bit more of an insight into kind of the Grande All-Season. For more information, what you can do is you can always check kind of the link below the video, and it'll take you straight through to kind of our website with all the latest prices, pack sizes, spaces, you name it, as well as all the videos about pitching it as well. We've got all that located in that one easy place to go for, as well as the local deals we've got on the go. It is one we have on our indoor display showroom, so if you want to sort of come and feel it and see it in the flesh, it's definitely worth doing so, as it is a reasonable investment. That's one you want to do it once and do it right, understandably so. Any more questions, contact us directly. If you're looking for sort of the motorhome size, like I said, do contact us about the fit, because that can where it can be a bit picky. We want to make sure that it's going to fit and you're going to be happy with what it's going to be. So that's quite crucial. But then also the list of accessories we've got is all on our website as well. But that's kind of our little video review on the Dometic Grande Air 390 All-Season. And then again, you can always look at the other videos about the Grande, the Pro version and things like that as well. But thanks again for watching, and any more information you need to know, just let us know. Thank you.